even and starts rotating, then Jakiro can catch up in levels or just like keep in a lane and pushing. It's an idea that forces Alliance to make it harder for them to prioritize the target. Of course, you will want to take out the Faceless Void, but after that, every hero, aside from the Vengeful Spirit, seems equally important.
So confirmed, he does have Arcana, and has 15 points on it already. Ooh.
Not bad. He's still wearing part of his set, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that is his.
So Arcana is just the swords.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the introductions, we have EE playing Faceless Void. Pilot Dai going to be playing the Vengeful Spirit, Awi 2000 on the Jakiro, as we said before, Farah on the Pack, and Bone 7 on the Nyx Assassin. No surprises there for the side of Alliance.
Oh, okay.
We have Ake that spots the other guys, but just gets a pass from enemy. Perfect time. So we have Ake on the Elder Titan. We have My Nuts on the Crystal Maiden. Loda is going to be playing the PA. Honey is going to be the little Super Mario dude. And Ace on the Tide Hunter Watermelon Man. Any favorites based on the draft?
I actually like Cloud9's draft quite a bit. I mean, you have two methods of initiation. You're going to have a hero during mid-game. A Nyx Assassin is actually pretty terrifying for not just Zeus, but Crystal Maiden as well. PA to a certain extent, like you don't really suffer from the burst factor so much as you're more worried about just getting stunned to death, which can be pretty scary, especially considering they have like Ice Path to follow Impales, Coil, Sphere, and Magic Missile as well. The only real like teamfight lockdown Alliance actually have is Ravage. Yep. And that really scares me, because Cloud9's team is very, very good at fighting, even in small scale. Like 5 versus 5, they're not bad, but I think that's actually Alliance's strongest suit, because Elder Titan plus Zeus and a Tide Ravage, like if you synergize everything together, the damage is insane, right? Like you can actually just kill supports very quickly, but I think laning-wise, it's going to be really important for Alliance to actually get something pretty decent going for themselves.
Are they thinking about switching the lane? Loda's kind of going mid now?
We'll see what happens with that. Do you have in-game audio in your ear? Because I don't.
I do.
Oh, I guess
Is your thing turned up all the way, or are you just not on the same?
No, I hear it now. Okay, it's very low.
You hear the horn.
I hear the horn. It's very low, but it's there. So yeah, I'm actually very interested to see how this Crystal Maiden will develop throughout the game, because if she gets a couple points of aura early, that's going to help so much, pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
The Tide Hunter wants the mana, the other Titan wants the mana. The Zeus will eventually have mana of his own, but early game, it will help him spam the Art Lightning, so actually come here.
Oh, off lane Void by the safe lane player.
Well, I think it's one of those things where, in this situation, as long as you're able to actually get some levels, that's really all that matters, right? I mean, sure, they're going to switch extra support down here, so might end up just being an aggro tri-lane, which, if that's the case, I still kind of heavily favor Cloud9. Jakiro's pretty difficult to deal with. Like, you can zone other supports very easily, especially with the Venge on top of that. Like, how is ETCM supposed to fight Jakiro Venge? Like, the support mismatch is actually huge here.
Yep, Envy points out Loda does not have Stout Shield, and then proceed to lay on the harass.
Yeah, well, he does have a Ring of Protection, which, while not as good, is going to count for something.
Yeah, you can see that Cloud9's players are continuously blocking the pull camp, so there's not going to be no pulling. And I think this is where you say, alright, CM, get level 2, get in the lane, we need you.
Yep.
I'm actually really concerned because right now the CM, basically the only thing you can do is jungle. And you can't help the lane at all. So you're basically sacrificing Loda's farm completely. The Void's going to be able to free farm. They should be able to control the lane fairly easily after they pull it back for the first time. And I can't remember who it was. We had 2 pros commentate yesterday, actually, Zai and Aoi, and one of them said that you pretty much can't pull an off-lane back after it's been controlled. So
Loda just left and went top.
Yeah, I think this is the best choice you can make.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna dodge, and that's a huge investment for them.
But here's the thing, though. Like Ali says, you know what? I'm gonna do the same. I'll pour top. Here's more liquefier.
Do you think that's worth it? Like, if you make the carry rotate, you just chase.
Oh yeah, why not?
I mean, his only job really is to make sure that Loda doesn't get decent farm in the early game. Like, PA is pretty annoying against Void in the sense that the Void itself is not.
Tide Hunter is
threat.
coming from behind, but looks like Ake in a little bit of trouble. He buys the TP before dropping the first blood. Top lane. Looks like the Tide Hunter just did a drive-by and he'll run to the jungle, perhaps.
Yeah.
So showing the power of even just a Void and a Venge, basically, being able to kill an Elder Titan. And that, I believe that was a Boots first Elder Titan as well.
Yep.
and he's barely gotten any experience at all for Ake.
So tell me, if the Puck is favored in the lane against Zeus, how favored is the Nyx Assassin against Zeus?
Well, it's an interesting matchup actually, because during the early game, your mana burn doesn't really do enough to like totally get rid of all Zeus's mana. Like, it'll be low sometimes, but if you bottle crow, bring a couple of couriers out, it's not too bad. But mid game, the static field actually removes carapace, so you can never carapace any of Zeus's spells. He always hits you, which is really annoying because you really rely on that to like obviously not go splat. But obviously, I would say Nyx to play that match.
I know, they're not in Nyx.
They have a jump for the slow, but I don't think they'll go for it unless they get a timely back.
They're hitting him for nothing.
And he's going away, he survives. He pops this out right now, he's going to regen.
This void build.
Now the jump is an Ake.
I'm not sure about this one. Just a little bit harassed. Yeah. And I guess when you have a bottle, you could be a lot more liberal with those mana.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you start losing HP and you have full mana, you actually want to use an ability to make sure that you get mana out of the bottle.
What's the reasoning about going bottle and Faceless Void, especially in the one position Faceless Void?
I think it's because his base damage and stats are so high that if he gets like a good rune, like a haste or a DD, he actually can solo kill, because Time Walk slow is pretty good. I think people often underestimate actually how much it does.
Yeah.
So I think that could be the reasoning behind it. Plus, especially when you get level 6, and you have treads, you get like a good sphere. Oh, Envy. He actually gets the rune here. It's going to be Envis though. If that had been like a haste or something like that, he just would have killed Ake, right?
Yeah, especially with the...
Yeah, without a bottle, but I'm just saying, like, in general, now that he's gotten the extra rune, instead of having an empty bottle, he can be totally safe. Like, an Invis rune is actually not ideal, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I think they're going to make a no jump on Ace. They'll get the bash in, actually not doing any damage, and they'll back off. But his build in the last couple of times of playing Void is always treads, bottle, Mask of Madness. And every time he finds that, he just goes for solo kills. And the bottle, like Andy pointed out, once he gets the good rune, he goes for it.
It's really nice to just be able to hold on to stuff like that. Like an Invis rune, a haste, a DD, they all set up Chronospheres very well in their own way. So you can just go in and find stuff that normally would be totally unavailable. And plus, his mana pool isn't really stellar. So if you use like Time Walk Sphere once, typically you have to go back to base. But if you have a bottle, you don't have to do that.
And who could forget about those mid-game Rune of Destinies, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
What was that game we saw like 5 or 6 TDs spawn in a row? That was completely ridiculous. I can't remember who it was who was getting them.
That was before the patch change, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously it wasn't in a row, but it was like every other rune was a DD.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Annie, already with the arcane boots, he's ferrying his bottle back to base. The courier is super slow now. Actually, never mind, 300. Because of the movement speed bonus now, he's not that slow when carrying an empty bottle.
It ends up averaging out, I think,
Yeah.
because the speed boost was much lower cooldown but slower, and the courier base movement speed is higher, so...
Pilot Eye is thinking about ganking the Zeus. He's gonna wrap around, he's checking the ancients. Now if he just puts a ward there, make sure that the ancients are not blocked. And,
CM actually levels up the aura, so she's like, I'm not ganking at all. But Zeus, you're gonna get a ton of mana regen.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because as I said before, this to me was very interesting. If the Crystal Maiden can give mana to everyone in his team, everyone should work easier. And now Faceless Void has that haste from mage bottle. About to hit level 6. Oh no, he actually pops it. He wants to go now.
Oh.
They see Ake? He wants
I'm not sure if that was intended to get the last hit with the Vendetta. Maybe it was running out.
Okay, it is really weird. I saw EE pop the haste and just
hang out.
Walks around, yeah.
He got really excited.
Yeah. Yay! I'm fast.
I mean, even if he was 6 and had Sphere, if you don't have like Shreds or some form of attack speed, the likelihood of you getting a kill is pretty low. Ward trading here in mid. Let's
go,
Cloud9 is gonna die first.
They're going up top here. Coil's already used. Loda looking to blink out, and he actually, the dual breath missed. The Coil will break, and he already makes his team. Meanwhile, Minut's coming in here, but Minut's gonna get back out.
Oh, it's done.
That's gonna hit. Oh, nice phase.
Nice phase shift. Wow!
To be honest, very easy to phase shift that skill. Just saying.
That's a very good rotation, though, that Cloud9 forced out. Because 2 TP from support this early on.
Worth it. Yeah, it's almost the goal difference of getting a kill. And I really like this Observer Ward with a monocle and a top hat. I don't know where it's come from, but it's pretty cool.
That's better. I had to move positions. I can't see the preview monitor at all from back there. I'm getting old. Ravage bottom lane. Without Spear as well. The ulti comes out. Didn't even have a point in the backtrack, but still lives.
That's a slap time.
That was really close.
Did he not arc there? I think he did.
No, he did. He used all his abilities, yeah. I think if you actually like bolt max range, like ground target, and then throw those spells again, you might have had bolt up again. I don't know. It's hard to say.
No, I think you are lining first. You do everything when you have the second outlining.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I think they were just so
too.
confident that they'll get the kill that they didn't do any of those.
Yeah.
He didn't even have treads for that, and he still lived. That's pretty impressive, actually.
It was full life.
So PA is not nearly having the same good time that RTZ had last game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they went aggressive, and they forced him to TP away. He's basically just walking to any lane where he can actually hit creeps and not just be completely crushed by heroes with decent lane presence.
Okay. I do think it's actually very important that PA gets a good lane, and not just like free farm lane, but it's maybe even better that we saw, for example, earlier RTZ got the kill in this lane. I think you just like accelerate early game farm much quicker to and you're level 6. But I'm personally not a big fan of like, alright, safe lane PA, let's just farm and not even go for kills. Which it seems like that's what Alliance had in mind with the jungle CM and
so what is you the go time for PA?
Level 2, man. CM Nova, Frost, Dagger, Blink crit, let's kill. Or not crit, but just Blink. I think PA is a very aggressive laning hero, but most players are not playing it like that.
He is zoning out the Elder Titan between tier 1 and tier 2 tower.
Well, I mean, how are they going to kill him? He knows they don't have Ravage. They just tried to use it to kill him, and it didn't work. So the only rotation that he has to worry about really is Tidehunter, who's bottom right now. They're going for Aoi here. Fata's got Coil if he wants to throw it out, but I don't think they want to try to use another Tidehunter. They're going to throw it to Zeus ult, though. Manages to kill Aoi. Hani actually caught here as well. Going to be trading 1 for 1. So the mid player for a support, and they did kill with Zeus, so.
Yeah, and he is even more free than before. Because of no rotation, he's actually farming heroes, creeps in no man's land.
Alright.
The result of this is that
right
the tower is getting really
definitely
close.
On the edge. This is some high risk jungling,
That's fine.
you know?
Creeps don't hit.
It's pretty spooky stuff.
I feel like this CM has not done enough.
Hey, he's got 3 points in aura.
I mean, he's jungling, that's fair, but you expect him to have more item. Although, to be fair, he did TP once top, and then TP'd, and have a TP score right now.
I mean, he's level 5, and his laning phase did not really... His team lost lanes pretty much because I think he was doing what he was doing, but at the same time, like I said, CM ET does not do anything against Shakiro Bench. The support combo from C9 is just that much stronger, so I'm not really sure he had much of a choice. If he goes anywhere, I think either 1 or 2 of the supports from Cloud9 kind of just follow them. And then, okay, well, our lane presence is pretty lackluster.
Oh, Fada finds Honey, the silence.
He doesn't have foil, though.
North support.
He can do decent damage, though. Turns around, throws out a bull. Here comes the CM from behind, but he actually went to the orb itself. Now Pylai Dai is going to be the recipient of tanking the gank right now. Who's going to get the kill? It's going to be close. Oh, crit.
Oh, dagger on the ground. Rest for the week.
Rest for the weekend. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I thought they were supposed to gank mid. I don't know why they lost their patience. So.
I mean, going for Honey is actually pretty tempting, right? Because he's still mid. And if you can keep the Zeus down, it's one of those heroes that is very easy to just continually pick off if the puck gets like really far ahead, for example.
Yeah.
Oh, courier down. Find the alliance. He finds it here. No, the frostbite actually doesn't go off. He used the Nova for vision. A little bit too long. He's going to have a solar ravage onto Aoi here, and they're going to pop the Zeus ulti as well. They just blow him up.
I really enjoy the way that Hani's been playing this game. Like every time he thinks he sees
the Nyx so low.
MV is fine. He's just constantly be aggressive to TP. They're not trying to blow these ravages for the kills. Here we go, Pylai Dai.
The note, he's so slow.
Go.
So slow.
And then Zeus is here again. The swap. Oh, the bullet! I don't think he'll make it home.
No,
although. Okay.
What's hell? What?
Ooh, that's another one.
In space. Alright, he's dead. But still, pretty funny.
Wasted 2 bolts, man.
Hey, he
That was so weird. Like, if you're in that situation, you just target the hero.
I mean, I think he just spammed on the area.
He could have just clicked at the same time the swap went off, and then, because it's a ground targeted ability now too, you can just miss, I guess.
Right.
It's really weird. Alright, so Fata coming bottom here, he's got Coil. They know Ace has already used Ravage, so if they want to try to kill him, they can, but deciding not to overcommit here.
I'm more interested in looking at Bone 7. His Nyx Assassin has been farmed.
Yep.
Yeah. He hasn't done anything, he just has the farm for a Dagon, so now he can go and solo kill people. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's just it. Like, he can actually solo kill quite a few people on the side of Alliance. Like, Zeus, I think, almost instantly dies. CM dies. Other Titan might be able to live, actually.
PA dies. He
Yeah,
can't
PA
live there.
dies as well.
Well, does PS survive all the nukes?
I don't think so. Does he have treads? If
I
he
think
has
he has
treads, he
strength
might live.
No, he doesn't have it. Yeah.
Oh,
He won
Oh, he's going
Midas.
Midas. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, he dies too.
Definitely a very different playstyle compared to the previous PA games.
Yeah, I don't know if Midas is really going to do anything for him, to be honest. I mean, I understand the allure of wanting to get like level 11 because level 2 coup de grace to make a decent item transition, but I don't know if it's really favoring your team to try to farm with these types of items against the 12-minute dragon mix. Like that's going to be
Die,
pretty
here
scary.
comes Paladin. Paladin's gonna get gone on the Ravage. Sorry, the bolts are gonna come out. Ravage is available soonish.
Why did they must have thought Ravage was up because Bone 7 did not go on Loda there, and he definitely would have killed him.
Oh,
so I
yeah.
think they assumed Ravage was up cooldown. Hey,
Easy kill.
That steal though. Okay, Cloud9 wants to push top. No, the tower mid. That's what they said.
They have only about 20 seconds to do it because when Ty's back, you don't want to mess. I like the way that.
gets crit here. Coil on 2. The second crit comes out as well. He's going to get frostbitten in place. Goes down. No sphere here, but they want to try and kill Loda. It's going to be getting swapped back in by Pylai Die. Bone 7 coming in as well with the Vendetta. Loda blink strikes in. Bone 7 in the right place at the right time. Gets the Vendetta hit and a Dagon off to kill Loda.
The way that Loda's been playing right now, I feel like a Tread's helm would fit his playstyle more. Like he's just aggressively blinking in, right? But he has a Midas, so
We'll have to pick his brain about it between games.
Yeah.
Ask him why he decided to go for the item. Because most of the time when I think of Midas, to be fair, do we really think that having Tread's Helm of the Dominator would really help him that much in this situation? Because still, realistically, he dies to the burst damage that they have, right? Like
That's
if
true.
If the Nyx and the puck go on him, he's dead.
I think
100%.
I think the Tread just gives you that little bit of insurance, but I mean it's more like, all right, he's got the Midas. Why is he fighting?
I don't think he's trying to fight. I think the fights are just coming to him. I mean,
That's
most
true.
of the time we see him, he's trying to go to a lane to hit creeps. I mean, look at him now. He's just gonna fall back here.
Cloud9 just giving him the hey man, let's gank Loda thing.
Looks like they want to smoke, but I don't know if they have one. They just dropped a sentry there. Maybe they're just trying to keep tabs on Bone 7. Yeah, they do have a smoke, so.
Here it comes. Keep it quiet. 4 heroes smoked. There's Ravage on Tide Hunter. There's ultimate on virtually every hero right now. Envy doesn't have a Chronosphere, which might be good. If someone shows up,
Ravage point
wow.
blank thought this counter. Just he even hit Pylai Die as well, so he wasn't able to get the
wanna
swap
chase
off. The
Pyle?
dagger actually crits. He
Oh,
wants
yeah?
to go here, but they lost the dagger vision. He's not going to be able to blink strike on him. Man, Ace is being extremely liberal with his ravages. Just,
I like it.
Yeah, he's just going in for the solo kills.
He
and
has
he's been
safe lane
successful
farm.
most of the time.
Yeah, safe lane form after the switch, but here comes Envy. He's got a double damage. I mean, this is why you buy Bottle on Void, right? You check for every rune. Meanwhile, Aoi 2000 is getting a lot of space on the bottom.
How we 200?
Yeah.
Like that. Like that's a misread. How does that happen? Like I don't know.
I saw 200 and then ding ding. Didn't think about the last zero.
2-0-0.
Look at that sword.
He's not behind here. He still has spear. He's going to have to use it as long as he wants to live and be able to get this kill. Look at those bottle charges, man. Back up to full HP. Eats a Nova. Actually would have been quite low if he didn't have those bottle charges. I think he actually lived because of that.
Yeah.
Like, he had Mask of Madness on that whole time. That value.
And here comes the push. Like Nyx Assassin is gonna get that. He's going for Dagon.
No, he's gonna go blink.
Honestly, if you're in the situation, do you actually prioritize Blink over upgrading your Dagon? I mean, upgrading your Dagon actually would kill almost every single hero on the side of Alliance right now. And isn't that what you want? Like the threat of like forcing Alliance to buy mass sentries, and then maybe later in the game you get a gem on some hero.
And never farm alone as well.
So
Yeah.
we saw the exact same issue. Like he played this build in the first match today.
I mean, look at
so,
him right now.
So he got Dagon 1, and then he kept dying. And then we're like, okay, just probably get Blink so you can help the team more.
Yeah, but he's not dying.
Yeah, so I think this game might be a very good game to get
Loda
Dagon
came
2.
back. Loda? Oh, Loda's there.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, he's dead. He
Now,
didn't actually dodge any of those
awkward
auto attacks
position.
here. He's gonna get stomped. He has 1-1. Okay, never mind. That Elder Titan Aura plus Bolt.
he
Big
did
thing.
actually buy a dagger before he died, though, so
Yeah.
there's that.
That's value, and I mean, I would try to kill for Loda every time of the week because Loda is the damage dealer here.
But the thing that's important to remember is that if you look at the way that Bone7 actually killed him, he barely had enough damage to kill. Like, he still needed to land an extra auto attack after his full combo, which means that if you upgrade Dagon like 1 or 2 times, you don't have to rely on that auto attack actually landing, right? You're just in and out, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's pretty important. But obviously, Bone7 going for the blink, D-ward coming out here from Alliance as well, and see how it pays off for him.
And Envy, is he going for a Maelstrom or a BKB? I think you want a BKB against this Zeus. And
He's going Maelstrom. No respect.
Maelstrom. Huh.
That's his build. It's been his build every single game. Bottom, Mask of Madness, Treads, Maelstrom.
I don't know if you necessarily need to go BKB that early. Because, I mean, ideally, Pilot Eye swaps you out of any danger, right? I mean, the last time we saw somebody die to a Ravage, we swapped that, but Pilot Eye actually got hit by that same Ravage, so he wasn't able to swap fast enough.
I mean, I think anybody that gets hit by Ravage is actually just dead. There's so much burst damage coming out from Alliance.
Yeah, that could be.
So, I mean, you could get one to block it, but he'd rather just, alright, if I'm going to die sometimes, I'll die sometimes. But, I'm going to kill you guys if you don't go on me.
Honey trying to hold the fort down there.
Bloodstone.
Yeah, Hani was saying that he really likes the item on the hero, and we'll see if it pays out. Does give him the necessary mana to spam, but whether that helps you survive
Oh,
the fight.
they see 5, they found 5.
They really did. And now he's
Rip
extremely
5.
dead.
There are 2 towers dead too.
It's crazy.
Well, Alliance definitely onto the fact that Bone7 has his Blink Dagger now, and Aoi going to be using Liquefire in the tower.
Yeah.
Like, actually broken. Pretty sure Aoi actually said that in during his practice today.
Oh, he doesn't even count. Last hit.
Yeah, there's very few things in the game where I say it's broken. I think Naga Song's one of them. Liquefire.
How is that ability only a 60-second cooldown
Yeah, exactly,
at level
right.
16? That's what I want to know. Icebark, please.
That's the broken part.
Yeah. Okay, so now that PA has Treads, can't instantly die, but can get bursted by 2 heroes for sure.
And I guess that's what Dagger do for you. You initiate for the rest of your team.
Yeah.
Turns your gank into a 2-man squad, but definitely worked out there.
The other thing is, if you're ever in a situation where you can initiate with like Vendetta instead of using Blink, the Blink can be used to retreat. So you don't have to necessarily fully commit to a fight if you just get like a good Vendetta and like get stun off. I think he's fine. Bone7 doesn't have any mana. He's gonna go for a stomp here. Barely misses. The carapace was used just as a safety precaution.
Maybe, if you think about it, the Zeus Hearthstone? Bloodstone. You increase your mana pool, but you don't get more mana burst damage because it's based on the hit. So it's like, hey, oh, it's a man.
That is very true.
Ooh. He got haste, he could run back in.
Yeah.
If he wants to.
That's just he wants to. Everyone's
He's
there.
going around right now. They're gonna
Zeus
pop the
ult?
Zeus ulti for vision, so they definitely know what's up.
Did he backtrack that out?
No, he did not. He
I guess
drank
that's-
his whole bottle and still is only
Yeah,
at 16.
that's a cool thing to have against Zeus, you know? Just bottle to regain your health. It looks like here comes Bone7.
Well, I actually think if you just lifesteal from creeps, it's good enough, you know? Oh man, if he accidentally... Oh, they dropped a sentry!
But no, he's got blink as well. He's gonna spike. Here comes a stun. He's gonna get stunned. The question is Envy gonna come and revenge his skill? Even the CM won't even throw him out.
He's way too far away right now.
They're actually initiating all the TIE Hunter. Can they actually chase on him? Yeah, well, the Raptor still came out. Oh, it looks like Fata's blink got static, but Ake runs back into it. They're focusing on Hani. Hani's definitely dead for sure, despite the Bloodstone giving him a little extra health. Ake's the next target. Coil onto 2 before he actually dies. Ake dead. And now you go for the CM, I suppose. CM's gonna get the jump. No, they're actually gonna go on PA. PA's gonna jump to Aoi, actually fighting for this one. There's a Yule Scepter for himself. Should have focused on CM, I think. They still want to fight this. Loda could actually stick around and go for the kills, and the TP out from Aoi, he'll make it home, no crit, and the creeps are now hanging out with Loda. Envy not gonna fight this.
That actually came out very well for Alliance. They could have lost 2 more. If they killed the CM, then suddenly Loda was an easy kill. But because they decided to go for Loda first, things became very delayed, and both survived. Now Loda, they smoke, and I think they smoke into Roshan. And they want to finish what Eternal Envy started before.
This could be big. But everybody is responding very, very soon. Envy's gonna... Oh, he got
Oh,
static.
he knows.
He
Yeah,
knows.
he definitely knows.
He even send those illusion in if you want to.
Hello, sis.
Is he actually going to be able to get anything here? They pop the
shut
ulti
up.
right away. Actually denied here. Bloodstone is smashed up by Hani. He's just going to go ahead and commit suicide. Loda, though, not going to be so fortunate. He's going to get
What did so much damage there? Like, everybody just lost a ton of health.
Combo. Ace, no Ravage here. Alliance not looking so hot right now, losing 4 heroes. The Air Splitter's going to land, but to no
I
avail.
actually think this was the game. This move is the game-winning move.
It definitely hurts. I mean, you just gave away Roshan, 4,000 experience, 1,700 gold as well.
Yeah, I mean, Cloud9 technically won 2 fights in a row. They traded fairly evenly, but Envy was the one that survived everything.
Yeah.
If you look at this goal right now, after this row, she'll be at what, 3,600, 3,400?
I mean, honestly, I think a lot of that is in the fact that when they killed Ace the first time, he actually ravaged, but he only hit Pilot Die.
Yeah.
Right? So when you panic ravage like that, and you realize that Roshan is a priority for the other team,
1-7.
yeah, you're giving them the opportunity to just go right back in after they get like one good fight. That's pretty much exactly how it went down. So Cloud9 just going to choose to retreat and play a little bit safe, which is totally fine for them. Late game Void, obviously very strong. Fata has had a pretty good game as well.
You know, if you're Fata, do you just not go Dagon at this point?
Well, I think if you were going to go Dagon, you would have gotten it actually before Yules, yeah. I mean, Yules is insanely good on that hero, but I think if you were looking for just the solo kill potential, you probably would go Dagon and just not have picked Nyx, because it kind of serves the same purpose, right? You're going to have 1 or 2 heroes on your team who just kind of make it so the other team has been incentivized to actually solo farm.
I would make the argument that Dagon, like Blink Dagger, gets better the more you have it.
You mean the more of them you have?
Yeah, more of them.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I kind of agree with that.
It's like,
I guess for the investment, like a bunch of level 1 Dagons is much better than upgrading a Dagon. Because you're spending 1250 for a recipe to only get 100 damage, whereas a Dagon 1 is 400 damage for 2700 gold.
now.
Zuzo check, they see Fata, but hard hero to catch.
You know, he's farming 4.5k gold, that's what he has.
I think this is where he normally gets the BKB, and then he's like confused now. He's like, oh, I have Aegis. I have a slot. You just upgrade a Mjolnir? Or is that too...
What is the most aggressive thing you can think of?
MKB?
Butterfly? Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it gets a PA, right?
The bug in the watermelon, yeah. I mean, it's the obvious choice if you want to just be able to kill the core on Alliance every single time. Like Boss 7 going in here, dealing a pretty good amount of damage and just deciding to back up. There's no backup. Point blank range is going 7. Hopefully they can get the coming in. The mech is going to be there as well. They're not actually going to be able to take him out. Ace completely out of mana right now. Loda already dropping here. Swap on the Honey. Pilot that for the back missile. Ake in the meantime almost dropping here. Found the force to finish it. Envy jumped hugely. Envy, he slept inside of its own sphere. Fata able to throw an orb inside of it. And now they're actually just going to lose 4 altogether. They didn't even kill 1 hero for that. Not a thing.
That mech was clutch. Kept everyone alive for a long enough time to actually come. And the cleaning crew wiped them out. It's just the Tide Hunter surviving, but without a Ravage. He just can't.
I mean, the solo Ravages in the beginning were okay, because Cloud9 weren't the ones who were forcing like these really big 5-man issues. But you can't afford to do 1-man Ravages anymore, right? Like, you need to hit good Ravages, and ideally, you probably want to Ravage after Envy throws out a sphere. Like, think of the way that teams are utilizing Ravage still. You just go in, you Ravage, like, behind the sphere to prevent follow-up, and hope that you hit Envy as well, I guess. But it's kind of hard to do on demand. Like,
I think
pressure situations.
when the Nyx popped out in Viz to gank your PA like that, you're like, oh, he's doing his solo gank thing. His team's not here. And then they threw everything, suddenly mech come out, you're like, oh wait, the entire team is actually here. So,
well, with Cloud9 having a gem, there's going to be a lot less of knowing exactly where everyone is, because soon everything's more or less going to be de-warded. Like, Awei's going to find the last ward here in like a second or two. He's actually walking right by it, so...
So, Loda going for...
He didn't kill it. Alright, they're pinging it now.
Yeah, there you go. Loda
He
going
wants
for
a 50
the
gold though.
Ogre into Vlad's. And the Vlad's respecting the damage that MP puts out, although I think a lot of that damage is actually magical damage from
That
MP.
Vlad's actually does nothing in teamfights.
Yeah.
Like, normally you would say Vlad's is really good because it gives your whole team like 5 armor and a little bit of damage, but if Envy hits a good sphere, the fight's over. Like, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. I mean, he actually hit a sphere, but he was clapped, but it wasn't really him doing the damage. It was like the rest of the team, like Fata did a ton there.
Yeah. The thing is, like, 5 armor is not going to help you against NKB anyway.
Yeah.
Like, if you get the mini bash, it just destroys you, basically.
The whole thing is magical, right? MKB's magical, the
The bash is magical on
yeah,
NKB.
so
The creep bombs.
Actually would survive longer if he got good, but you know.
Well,
I
don't know.
Yeah, that's not the.
I don't know
what I
about
was
that,
advocating here, but
I think the real problem is that PA is a hero who has pretty subpar strength game. So normally against other carries, you're able to supplement your effective HP by just having mass evasion.
Yep.
But because Envy's playing Void, which is he's super dead, like mega dead. They might be able to get Fontaine in return though. He orbs away, Bone 7. He's got the carapace on. Yule's here onto my nuts, and they're not going to be able to get much. In the meantime, Hani ends up dying here to Envy, who dropped a sphere on him.
that's the Blink Ravage.
Oh.
He actually...
Fata, very angry. I faced it, I faced it.
Where's the Fata
PJ
face?
Salt. PJ Salt.
Fata face, no space. Going for the dodge. Here, he actually does dodge it, but he's still like mega dead.
See, when Pilot Guy dies, it's like, yeah, you know, that's expected.
He's actually alive forever.
Yeah. And he's like, you know what else is dead? Your base.
Paradise like, yes. My Mario Party days are returning to me now. I have created space for my team.
That is all he needs to do on, not even a tier 1 tower.
He's just killing the racks. Like, can somebody please stop Envy right now?
No, what?
Apparently not. They threw out a spirit to try to stop, and didn't end up working out. Bone 7 though just assassinates Ake inside of the base. Dagger gonna be thrown out here. Loda wants to go in for a kill, but he also gets stunned by the carapace. Blink actually being put on cooldown way too many times. Nice mini ravage there coming out from Bone 7, but their buildings are just dying inside of the base. They can't do anything.
4 heroes from, just look at the blinks, of C9 and over 10,000 gold, 29 AC to the game.
Alright, taking some damage here. He's got spear in 5 seconds. Can he
Backtracking.
live long enough? He's got
Jump!
He actually just backtracked every single
Okay,
skill in
here's
the game.
How did he do it?
Oh, what a chrono! Gets his ally! The big plays!
That chronosphere was super subpar, but it didn't matter. It's like he put his hands up in the air to pray to RNGesus, like as that ulti was coming out, and it all worked out. By the way, you called it, by the way, Dagger on Fata here. He's gonna go for Ake. Has coil. Not gonna fully commit. Alright.
Well, he kind of, yeah.
I think he could have went for that quite easily. I mean, we can see it, but
Well, but then
obviously...
he wouldn't have been able to maybe get out. It was many comeback mechanics and all that, you know?
Oh,
hello, Korea.
Oh.
I think he got it.
Yep.
4 stab,
Four stab, and he heals
Mules,
the rest of
double
the
TP. Is that life? And he gets the tower? What? And he actually went in on the CM. How did he not?
That's that life.
Okay.
He's on anti-treads right now. Where's the efficiency? The bolt
Got face,
misses.
got Yules. He's cool, man.
Oh my god, he's fine. He's actually completely fine.
Fada with the dodges.
What is this game, actually? He goes back in, he's gonna get the kill.
Look at these plays!
Oh!
Got Yules.
He's got a Yules. He's got a Yules.
Use!
Oh.
And only what's up? Face
Oh,
down,
no.
face
What?
down.
Oh my god, the back kick got
Yeah, here comes.
Jeez.
Okay, Pilot Why? Why would you do that? Pilot I mean, this is why I actually...
Bone 7 coming in.
that wasn't
Impale,
That was
He's got the gem on him. He's going to continue to chase here. Impale in about 2 seconds. Has enough mana with the wand charges. He's going to eat a dagger here. Waiting for him to stun after the ice path. Doesn't even need it.
This is why I actually enjoy watching Cloud9. Like, just
This is
Cloud9 plays.
Cloud9.
Oh yeah, you almost missed it. Good job, Envy.
fudge.
Wow. All right. You
I don't know, man.
He just threw a solo chrono for Hani. I'm not sure if it's just
How many charges in the last one of Honey now?
2.
2.
My lord. It's definitely not a great game.
No.
I think the biggest problem, though, honestly,
keep
is
fluffing.
it's like going back to the beginning of the game. It's just about the supports not being able to do pretty much anything. Like, you had support CMET. I understand the synergy between the EP and the Zeus, but I think you needed another hero who could actually do stuff in lane. Because,
Like,
Aoi and Highlight Eye just did so much work, whereas I don't really think that
I think they really weren't expecting an offensive try.
Well, I think that's a weekness of ET, right? He's a melee core that doesn't do anything, and especially when you jungle a
it's support,
CM.
isn't it?
Yeah, melee support.
Slams Crystal Maiden. A big deal. Alright, Dagger coming out here from Loda. Can he get a crit? Here, Pipe is popped. Ravage comes out. Not really doing much damage though. Mech going to be given kill by Highlight Eye as well. Gets swapped out. One more Dagger coming in to chase. Ice Path lands on ASUS. No more Ravage, and they've already used it. Here comes the Earth Split. He's going to land So Cloud9 able to dodge. Ace taking some damage from Envy here. Spear for about 10 seconds. Blink away from loaded to Ace. Ace goes to the high ground. They're just abandoning Ake right now. He needs one more second to blink up to the high ground. No, he gets stunned. How he's going for more. He goes up to the high ground as well with the Yules. Doesn't even need the ice path. It's going to be Envy picking up the double kill there. Beyond godlike, and GG well played. Comes out from Alliance.
I just heard Aoi say, what a fun game.
It was.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it was fun for them.
Yeah.
It was a fun game.
To be honest, there was a lot of very small fights going on, and it didn't really seem like either team was too shy to just blow ultis on one hero.
Yeah.
There's a lot of solo ravages, and I think a lot of that was just due to the pressure that was on Alliance during the mid game because of how subpar their laning phase actually was. I mean, the only one I think who actually did reasonably well in the lane at least was